Hi Gemini, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. So this is your love reading for February 2018. I really love doing the love readings for February because it's the month of Valentine. Everybody's kind of got this expectation, is love going to come in, am I going to meet someone, blah 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 blah. It's almost like people think because it's Valentine's, I should meet someone at Valentine's or before so I can share. And it's lovely. It's a lovely time of year. I've never experienced really a Valentine's. I've never, been on a Valentine's date. When I've had boyfriends, I've always been kind of like not the type that have done that type of thing. So for me, Valentine's, though I share in everybody else's happiness and love and beauty, for me, Valentine's, not particularly fussed, but I'm really hoping that something good shows up for you guys in terms of Valentine's. So this is for you guys who are looking for love, or, and it could be that you're in a relationship looking for love. It might be that you're on your own and looking for love, but it must be that you're looking for love and you're wanting love to come in, all right, in some way, shape or form. Because if you're in a completely happy relationship, why bother watching the video? It's not for you. It's for those of you who are looking for love. Whether you're in a relationship you're not 100% certain about, or whether you're out of one, you must be looking for love, okay? So what we're using the Thelema Tarot for the main reading, and we're using the Romance Angels as your advice card, okay? So we'll put these to the side and we're just going to shuffle, and we're using all upright cards today, okay? So Universe, Spirit, show me. Show me, is love coming in? Is love coming in? Well, not if love is coming in, just show me love overall. What's going on for love for Gemini in February 2018. Show me love. What's happening in terms of love for Gemini in 2018? Show me love in the month of Valentine's for Gemini in February 2018. Show me what's coming in for Gemini in love. Show me what's coming in for Gemini in love. Show me what's coming in for Gemini in love in February 2018. Show me. Shuffle the cards. We're going to split the deck into three. Going to collect that back up, and we're going to see what's going on. So what's around you guys? Well, you got a Knight of Pentacles. Some of you guys might be dealing with a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn individual. This Knight of Pentacles is a difficult card in a way to explain for love, because on one hand, it doesn't have to be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn individual. It can be somebody who... Knight of Pentacles can be two ways in terms of love. You can get Knight of Pentacles, somebody who moves really, really slow. I mean, slow to the point of don't move. All right, it doesn't even have to be in... Because usually when he's reversed, he's not committed to love. He's got no commitment to it. It's for the short term. So this person either stops what they're doing, or, it's for the short term. They'll have a bit of fun and then they'll be gone. They become in the reverse, I feel, for me, when I read this card reversed, like a Knight of Swords. Quick in, quick out, Knight of Wands as well. And they're bad enough reversed as well. So, but in the upright, this person, sometimes they've got an intention to do something in terms of love, but they still just drag their heels. That's why he's called the Doddering Knight, is the Knight of Coins, because it's how slow he moves. Some of you guys, this can be a very loyal individual, though. Somebody who's very loyal, very compassionate, very dedicated, very honest. If they say something, they're going to do something. And sometimes this can be a proposal that is offered to an individual. So for some of you guys, it might be a proposal. Your challenge in terms of love is the Sun. So the Sun energy, could be there's a Leo that's challenging you in terms of love. Gemini's in February 2018, but the Sun is a challenge, and sometimes be where you see everything amazingly. Like the Sun is a very blinding card, so it can be, oh, everything's going to be hearts and flowers, but what you're not doing is you're not looking at the downside of a situation when you get the Sun. So sometimes you can have the blinkers on, and for some of you guys, it might be these challenges you've got the blinkers on in a situation here with the Sun energy. The reason that everything is happening for you in terms of love in February is Judgment. So it could be for some of you guys that there is a karmic cycle now coming to an end. Judgment means a cycle has now completed itself and now it's time to move on to the next phase. It might be that you need to make a huge decision, and it can be that this is second time around. It's about resurrecting a situation. Around Judgment, we've got the Knight of Wands. Wow. So you might have maybe a couple of people. Maybe this is the same. But the Knight of Wands is a result of Judgment. So it might be in your foundation. This has been somebody who's contacted you from the past. Judgment means resurrection. So the reason that everything is happening is that there's a resurrection maybe with this Judgment energy. And around that, you've got somebody who's come in, Knight of Wands. For some of you guys, it could be a Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. It doesn't have to be. I get a feeling somebody came in with the Knight of Wands. Or if you're making the Judgment here, then you're leaving with that Knight of Wands energy, Gemini. The most likely outcome for love in 2018, February 2018, is the Tower. I think if there's a judgment that you need to make here, and I think it might be pretty much judgment. I don't think this is an individual. You guys, the judgment might be to leave, to get out, is the Knight of Wands. So if you guys, if in your foundation you're having to make a decision, and as a result of that, the focus might not be a person. This might be an energy. Knights don't always show people. So I think that you guys have a decision to make. I think as a result of that, the focus will be on, do I carry on investing in this situation? And it might be the most likely outcome will be the Tower energy that you decide. There's two cards here that I'm looking at. The similarities are very similar energies. Knight of Wands and Tower. They both mean to expel and leave. So I'm seeing leaving with these two energies here, a situation. Your challenge is the Sun. It might be there's a Leo person actually in the frame that some of you guys are dealing with. It might be also that somebody is quite narcissistic. Somebody is an attention seeker as well with that Sun energy. So it might not be that it's Leo, essentially. I get the impression that you've got somebody around you who might be about a little bit of a... that might be very different to who you are, Gemini, as an individual. It might be a very narcissistic individual with the Sun energy showing there. Coming in, you guys are going to experience, well, yeah, death. There's an ending, but there's a new phase coming in for some of you guys in terms in love. You guys in February 2018, Gemini, you are the you're the Nine of Swords. Some of you guys are upset. All right, I'll just move these cards over a bit. I'm seeing you guys as being a little bit upset here. I've got to be honest with that Nine of Swords. You're showing as being the Nine of Swords. I think that you're in a very difficult, upsetting situation for some of you guys. Look, I don't want to make these cards, you know, I just can't help what comes out, Gems, okay? I can't. I'm getting signs saying, oh, your readings are negative. They're not negative. They're just what comes out. You can't blame, don't blame the player. Blame the fucking game, you know? Don't blame the reader. Just don't blame it. It's just what comes out. That's what tarot is. As I always say with tarot, if anybody wants to be like, oh, this bloody negative, then it should be, you know, for January, we did a reading, a 2-week reading for Scorpio, in which I had people saying, oh, this is negative and I'm not liking your readings and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, shut up, you know, shut up. You know, if your life isn't going great, why are you blaming the tarot reader for that? We're not gods. We read cards. We don't dictate lives. We don't have any power over life or death. We read cards. We read the symbols on the cards, the meanings of the cards, and what our intuition is telling us, the pictures on the cards as well. That's how I was taught in tarot. I use all of my senses, my visual senses, my psychic senses, and my intellectual senses. I use all of those senses to read the cards. And that's it. I can't... You know, people want to come and say, you know, why are you blaming the tarot reader for it? I don't owe you a good reading. I don't owe you a bad reading. I owe you an honest reading, though. That's what I owe. Sorry to have that little rant, but if anybody wants to have a go at this because it's Valentine's, they think that they should have a nice reading in Valentine's, that's not fair, because life is life. Whether it's Valentine's or not, you can have a good reading or a bad one. It's up to you. This is you guys, the Nine of Swords. You do look a bit upset, Gemini, about something here. You look... You know, Nine of Swords is upset, and it's fears and it's worries and it's anxiety. So you might be feeling slightly anxious here. Coming in, what you'll need to deal with is the Nine of Wands. Some of you guys, it might be that you say, you know, there is death here, and there is the notion of some form of transformation in terms of a relationship. Death in terms of love either means an ending or a new phase. But you've got this Nine of Wands here. Influence is coming in where you'll want to possibly wait, or there's possibly there could be a fire sign individual who's thinking to himself, you know, should I stand around, male or female? Should I? Because this is about the last test. It's about, you know, I'm holding on in there despite being tired and fed up and distraught. I'm holding on in there. So the energies of needing to be resilient and determined will fall on some of you guys in terms of love with that Nine of Wands showing up there. Your hopes or fears, well, the hopes of the Wheel of Fortune, that things will change. Wheel of Fortune is all about change. Change is for the better with the Wheel of Fortune. And the outcome for love. I think that you guys are going to compromise with someone. And I think that this is somebody who's already in your orbit. I think they're already in your experience. I'm going to see why you guys are the Nine of Swords. Why is Gemini the not? Because the Temperance card means to compromise. And it means to go with the flow. And it means to create some form of even keel, even balance. So you get the Temperance card, the cup. it's saying, okay, let's go with, so I think that you'll choose to go, I think that there is the element of death, but somebody's going to reconsider with that Nine of Wands, and I'm seeing you going with the flow with the Temperance energy. Let's see why Gemini is the Nine of Swords. Why is Gemini the Nine of Swords? Why is Gemini the Nine of Swords in February 2018? Show me. I think that some of you guys, it might be that you're worried. It could be about a Sagittarius, Leo, Aries individual, but it could also be that you're worried about starting a relationship here with the Ace of Wands energy. So I think that you are worried about either making a fresh start, or you're worried about, some of you guys might be worried about sex as well, because Ace of Wands is, especially if you're female or homosexual, you might be, because the Ace of Wands is a phallic symbol, so it's the penis basically. You might be worried about sex. You might be worried about becoming very intimate with an individual, for example. You might be worried about starting an intimate relationship or starting a relationship. This is, Ace of Wands represents new and excited, but we've got Nine of Swords. So I think that you're worried about starting something with an individual, showing here, because in your foundation, there is the element of judgment. And I think that you guys are going to have to make a judgment over the Three of Wands. And I think that you're going to have to make a judgment as to whether you start to launch this new relationship, and possibly for some of you guys it might be that you need to leave a relationship behind. The Two of Wands represents a partnership, but it's behind this individual, so it might be that you guys have to, the reason that everything is occurring is you have to make a decision with the Judgment card as to whether you want to launch something new and leave somebody behind. And as a result of that, you have experienced the Knight of Wands in the recent past, and I feel with this Knight of Wands you guys have decided to leave behind a relationship, because the Knight of Wands is coming out of the Five of Coins. I think you've decided to leave behind a relationship that was lacking stability. Five of Coins represents the lack of stability, but some of you guys might decide to come out of a time of feeling lonely or feeling unstable, and that instability must have shown in the Two of Wands here behind this individual, the person that you guys are looking, because I think you're worried about starting a new relationship, because in your foundation you're making a judgment here, or a judgment has been made to start launching something new. So there's been a new phase here, I think, in the foundation area for you Geminis. And as a result of that, you guys have left behind a fairly depressing scene in that Five of Coins energy. But your challenge in terms of love, for some of you guys might have made a judgment to leave behind, you know, yeah, just to leave behind a partnership. Two of Wands is partnership. Your challenge is the Sun, and let's have a look at why your challenge is the Sun. Moon. Yeah, I mean, I think that your challenge is that I think with the Sun card, you're ignoring something here, because the Sun is a burning star. It's hot. And if you look into this Sun, look how the kids look into the Sun, and it's burning. Everything looks amazing with that Sun. Look how they look. But this is your challenge. You're not seeing things. Look, the Moon is here. So your challenge is that you're looking at everything amazingly, but that's because you don't really want to see what's going on the Moon. Your challenge is Sun, because you're ignoring the Moon. Look at the Sun and the Moon. They're so different. The Sun is bright, and it usually clears things up and sees things clearly. I actually think that your challenge is to see something clearly with this Sun energy, because there are a lot of dark and hidden aspects to a relationship with an individual here in February 2018. Gemini, that's what I think's going on. I think it's because the Sun, look at the two cards. Look, you get Sun and Moon. Sun is day, Moon is night. And you only see things in a certain way by the moonlight. And in the Sun, you see virtually everything clear. Even though it's a burning light, it can also mean that if you take a vacuum cleaner to your living room and you hoover around and you polish over all of I've got a glass table in my living room. So you polish over the glass table, everything becomes, you know, nice and clean. It only takes that sunlight to pour in, and you start to see the parts that have got dust still left on them, whether that's on the floor or the table. So this is the card about being able to see things clearly by the sunlight as well. And I think that your challenge is seeing something clearly here because of the Moon. It's either that you're ignoring your intuition. Sometimes the Moon can be that you ignore your intuition because you don't see clearly enough. Or seeing something clearly, it could be to do with a Cancer Pisces individual, or it could be with the Moon card that somebody's hiding something from you. I think you can't see something clearly here with both cards here. And as a result of that, your focus will be on the Knight of Pentacles for the love month of February 2018. Let's see why your focus is on the Knight of Pentacles. Because of the Hermit. Okay, so I think that your focus will be on And I'm reading this Knight of Pentacles. I'm not reading these as people. I'm reading this as you, your energy, Gemini. Your focus will be on moving in very slowly with this situation, because I think with the Hermit card, this is all about finding the truth. Hermits talk about finding the truth. Now, if you look at the Hermit, it's got its light shining in. All right. Now, wherever the Hermit shines its light in, it's seeking. So if it's shining its light into the Ace of Cups, it's seeking new love. All right, so this Hermit is seeking the truth. It's seeking the, it's looking into the Knight of Pentacles. This is what you're seeking. I think that you're seeking the truth of the matter. I think that your focus is on, it could be that as a result of that, your focus is on why. Or, I'm getting the impression that your focus will be on being quite cautious, moving quite slowly with that Knight of Cups, because the Hermit. And I think that this is because you are seeking. You're seeking the truth in a matter here. Look how he looks towards the light. The light is where his face is. So he's seeking the truth. He's seeking enlightenment. So I think that it's moving slowly because you're actually seeking enlightenment with that Hermit energy showing there. Because in your foundation, you have to make a judgment, I feel, for some of you guys. Judgment can mean many things. Ending of karmic ties, cycles, new phases, awakenings, is a resurrection, realization is the Judgment card. It's calling somebody out of the blue, resurrecting relationships, all of that type of thing. But in terms of judgment, it can also be, I need to make a judgment, a final judgment, which is decision. So when we say judgment, it's not even, it is a decision card, but it's also saying, when you're judging someone, you're making a final, what's the word I'm looking for? You're making a final assessment. So we look at the Judgment card as assessment. The word assessment springs to mind for me with the Judgment. And I feel that in your foundation, this is about making an assessment, because it's not so much a decision. All right, your decision is based on the assessment that you make. So if we look at the final day of judgment, God comes back. I was brought up a Christian, and we always learn about judgment. And for some of you guys, it's the final day of judgment. All right, so the Judgment Day. Judgment Day is where there is an assessment made. So I think that in your foundation, this is about you guys making an assessment to launch something. So the reason why everything is happening, Gemini, you need to make an assessment as to whether to launch something new and leave something behind. And around that, you guys have decided what you've experienced is the Knight of Wands. All right. And I don't think that this is another individual. I could have read it as that. But I think that it might, not unless you guys here are the Nine of Swords, you're worried about starting a new relationship, because in your foundation it might be that there was an assessment for somebody to launch something new, leaving your relationship behind. And around that, it might be that this person ran out, leaving you abandoned, because the Knight of Wands means to run off or run out, and this is leaving somebody abandoned. So it could be that somebody in these two areas here that you need to make... actually, I think that's the case. I actually think that is the case. I think that you need to make an adjustment, because you're worried. You're the guys that are worried here, Gemini, about starting this relationship or starting something new with an individual. And the reason that this is happening is because in your foundation, there was an assessment made. So it might be that in the distant past, there was an assessment or there was a judgment made. And that this judgment involves somebody moving on, launching new ships, launching new relationships and abandoning you. And around that, this person might have left you here with this Knight of Wands energy. They might have left you abandoned. So this is to leave the Knight of Wands, and abandonment is the Five of Coins. So I think somebody left you abandoned with these two energies. And as a result of that, your challenge is the Sun. Seeing things clearly, or even getting excited, or even feeling confident, because it might be that some of you guys are still stuck in the Moon. It might be that your challenge is feeling confident, because with the Moon energy, you are still feeling a sense of vulnerability, still feeling a sense of nervousness and anxiety with that Moon card, especially after somebody, I think, abandoned you guys in these energies here, because in the foundation is judgment here. Some of you guys, it's your own judgment to launch something new. And some of you guys, it'll be in the past, I think, that somebody let you down. Somebody made a judgment to, leave, to get on a ship, to move, to do something else. And that's why, as a result of that, you guys are moving very, very slowly in terms of love with that Knight. You're very cautious, I would say, with the Knight of Pentacles in terms of love, because you're still trying to seek some form of enlightenment. It might even be that you're still trying to heal with that Hermit energy. The most likely outcome is the Tower. It might be also that you guys are the energy around you are being very, very cautious around somebody who seeks something off you, Gemini. Might be very cautious around a Virgo individual, somebody who's seeking you. Because I'm reading you as the Knight of Pentacles. You're the one with the Pentacle here. But if you look at the two cards, you know what's funny? This guy looks really reticent. Can you see? Look at that. Look at those energies. That's incredible. I always look at the pictures, but look at that. Can you see how the Knight is holding on to the Pentacle with two hands and he's going, oh, no, you're not having that. And this person is like, well, why not? I'm coming for it. I think you guys are really reticent against somebody who... I think there's somebody who's interested in you, but I think that you're really reticent around them. I think you're really nervous around this person, which is why the most likely outcome will be... I think there's somebody... I think this isn't you. This is somebody else. Could be a Virgo individual or somebody who's seeking love. This person is seeking you. You're the Knight of Pentacles in this reading. You can show as anyone in a tarot reading. It doesn't matter about the astrological signs. You can show as anyone. This is you, Gemini. You're holding back with the Pentacle. Usually on some decks you see the Pentacle like this. Somebody's like, yeah. But this person's like, nah, you're not having that. And the Hermit card is going, but why not? I've come for it. I've come for you. And you're like, no. You're not having my cherry. No. So I see you guys have been really reticent with people who come in and show you attention with this Hermit energy. And as a result of that, the most likely outcome for love in 2018, February 2018, will be the Tower energy. The Tower and Strength. That's interesting, two majors. Well, the Strength card in the tarot often means, if you struggle with looking at a combination, because we've got two different combinations, two different cards. One is very active in its energy, and one is very passive in its energy. Strength is a passive card. Strength says, I hold back on my desires. I think this is a realisation card. I think there is an absolute realisation with this Tower that you need to hold back on your desires. Because the Strength card means I hold back on my desires. The Lion is the desire and the Strength is the lady. And you guys are holding back on your desire. And the Tower, even though it's a major card, I see an absolute recognition, an absolute realisation. Because Towers don't just mean external chaos, they mean inner chaos. And inner, something that is jolted from the inside. So if you get Tower and Empress, sometimes this can be somebody who's rocked by your beauty. With the Empress's beauty, Tower is to be rocked. And this is internal rocking by somebody's beauty. So I feel here that you guys here, there's a realisation that you need to hold back on your desires with the Strength energy showing there. Coming in your... I think that you need to hold back on your desires for a commitment with the Ace of Coins. Because Ace of Coins is to commit. So you want to hold back on your desires. So you realise that you want to hold back on your desires to commit to an individual with the Ace of Coins. Coming in, you guys will experience death though. So that's interesting. Let's have a look where this leads us with the death energy. Well, I'm seeing death and rebirth here. Because you got the Two of Wands. So I'm seeing a new phase with the Death card coming in. I'm seeing an ending coming in which with the Two of Wands, you'll decide that you want to actually start launching either a partnership with whoever this person is, or you want to start sort of launching, putting yourself out there with the Two of Wands, going in a new direction. You can see this person launches the eagle, or whatever bird this is. So it's almost like they're launching communication, or they're setting things into motion. Two of Wands is to set something into motion. So I feel that there is the ending of an old phase here, and what's coming in with the Two of Wands is this new phase where you guys decide, you know what, actually, I have been like this, but you know what, maybe I should just give a brother a chance. Or maybe I should just, go out there and seek love again, because I have been hurt. I think somebody did abandon you. I really do think somebody abandoned, and this is why you're this. Geminis in February 2018, because you're afraid to open your heart up again to an individual. The Nine of Wands comes in. What you'll experience is the Nine of Wands. Let's have a look at what shows up with this Nine of Wands. Sorry about this. Let's have a look at what shows up with the Nine of the Star. Wow, you're very close to the Star. You're very close to manifesting your desires. The Nine of Wands, if you look at the Nine of Wands, it can mean several things. It can mean that you're on your guard. It can mean that you're anxious. But it can also mean that you're very close. When you get that card, it's a manifestation card, is the Nine of Wands. I used to do reading on myself a lot of the time to get meanings and knowledge from these cards. And whenever that Nine of Wands Now, look at where the Nine of Wands faces as well. We'll pull these two cards down. Let's have a look. We'll pull all this stuff down. You see this, look at where he's facing. Whenever that Nine of Wands is facing into a card, it's coming. This is what's manifesting. So, I used to get things like Nine of Wands. When I first met somebody last year, he showed up close to that card. He showed up as the Chariot. He showed up as a king. King of Cups was facing, this card was facing into the King. This told me this person was very near. This will tell you something's very near. Now, this card is looking into that Two of Wands. So what's very near to you guys is you're launching something, this partnership. So if it's a new partnership with this Hermit, I think it's going to be very, very good because you've got the star energy here. I think that you will give this a try. And I think if you give whatever this thing is a try with this individual, I think it's going to turn out very well with that star energy. You're very close to success. You're very close to something manifesting. You're very close to alignment. I'm seeing there is very much a spiritual thing going on here with that star energy. I think that you're very close to alignment. If you're not seeing anyone and you're just a little bit nervous of people coming in, and because when you get the Hermit card, this person's looking into you. All right, so look at where he's heading. Even though you're not Virgo, you don't have to be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You're showing as a Knight of Pentacles. You're showing as reticent. This is you. So I believe that you are showing as reticent. And you're, around you, the energies are the Hermit around that. So I would say that you guys are this Knight of Pentacles. Can you see how he holds back? Look how he's holding on to his pentacle for dear life. He won't relinquish it. He's saying, I ain't offering you a thing. And this Hermit's like, well, why not? I'm looking into you, I'm interested. And you're like, no. Look how he holds the pentacle back, like, no. No, I'm not giving you that. And you're like, but why not? And he's like, why not? I really like you. And you're like, no, I ain't giving you my Chariot, get stuffed. But, you know, as a result of that, the most likely outcome will be that you guys have a realisation, the Tower. You have a huge epiphany moment with that Tower energy that you guys aren't ready with the Strength card for a commitment. Some of you guys aren't ready for it. The Tower, the Strength really, if you were to turn the card around, says, well, I'm not ready. Because the desire is held on to. I'm not ready for this commitment. So I think that you guys aren't ready for a commitment in these cards here. But what I'm seeing is a change of mind coming in, you see. Because that's the most likely outcome if everything carries on the way that it's going. And it would do. Because look here, you're worried, Nine of Swords, about starting new relationships. Or maybe even starting to have some fun or getting to know people. Because the root issue for all of this happening is judgment. Somebody might have made a judgment in the past to launch something new with someone else. You might need to make a judgment to launch something with someone new. But around that, the energies that you've experienced, and I think that this is about somebody who actually made a judgment to leave you. I think somebody made a judgment. I think the reason that you're doing this is because somebody in the past made a judgment to walk away from you, to leave you, to leave the Two of Wands behind. What you built with this individual, they left behind and they launched something new. They might have gone away, they might have travelled, they might have launched another relationship with another individual. Because around that, this person, the Knight of Wands, they left. And they left you feeling abandoned. They left you feeling very poor. The Five of Coins, look at how this person's got a beggar's bowl. Alright, so this person's got nothing. They feel a sense of disempowerment. They're left to the elements. And this Knight of Wands is like, haha, fuck this, see ya. I ain't sticking around. Look at that. Look how he leaves. He doesn't even care. He's not riding into this individual. It would be different, look. Can you see? He'd be riding into this individual offering help, but he's not. He's riding out of it. And he's saying, haha, I'm not sticking around you. Loser, see ya. And you've been left abandoned, Gemini, some of you guys. So somebody, I think, ran off and left you guys abandoned with the beggar's bowl. Okay? And as a result of that, your challenge is for some of you guys to feel happy with that Sun energy. Because there is a great deal of sadness and depression and fear and anxiety that has come about, I feel, for some of you guys with the Moon card as a result of whatever this douchebag did. And as a result of that, the focus for your love lives in February 2018, for some of you Geminis will be, well, I'm going to hold on to my pentacle. I'm going to hold on to my love. I'm going to hold on to my possessions. I'm not giving you my commitment because I'm being cautious because of what this douchebag did here and here and, you know, how they've made me feel here and here. I'm holding on to my pentacle. And this person says, but why? I like you. Why? And you're like, no, I'm holding back. But, you know, and as a result of that, the most likely outcome for love is there is a deep recognition with the Tower, an epiphany that you're not ready to commit. because of what somebody did to you here and here, and how it made you feel here and here. So there's a deep epiphany here, Gemini, that you're not ready to commit. You're not ready for commitment because of what somebody did to you. But I'm seeing a change of heart coming in because you've got this death card, and it's preceded by a wand. Wands are new life, their birth, their rebirth. We don't have death and then the Ten of Swords. You know, we don't have passive, and death is really a passive energy in a way. We don't have one. We've got a very active energy. You know, you can get Ace of Wands and death, and it's rebirth after death, you know. So I'm seeing after the coming in is death, and ending to this phase in which you will be ready now to launch new partnerships. And as a result of that, what you'll find coming in is the Nine of Wands. You're very close to something amazing manifesting in terms of love. All right. You've given it your all. You're tired, but you're very, very close. You're very close. After all of the tiredness, anxiety, worry, fear, depression, you're very close, I feel, with the start of something amazing manifesting. Your hopes would be this Wheel of Fortune. And I think that the hopes are really to experience a positive phase. But the Wheel of Fortune, no. Five of Cups. Your hopes will, your fears, this is your fear. Your fears will be that anything really good coming in is going to turn to shit with that Five of Cups. Because sometimes when you get a wheel and then you get a card coming out, it tells you what's coming after it. So it's like the Death card, which tells you what's coming after death. Where does death lead to? It leads to the opening gates of the Two of Wands. So this, what you've experienced is that this energy, this ending here of this individual here has really opened up your eyes, and it's opened up a gate for you guys to walk through. And you understand that, Geminis, in February 2018. You understand that this ending here is finally opening up. It's only the gateway to a new beginning in terms of love. It's the gateway to finding your proper partner in terms of love. Geminis, in February 2018. And what you'll experience is finally, after having done all of that, crying and feeling tired and depressed and worrying, you're finally near with that Nine of Wands. It's the 11th hour card. So you're finally near a positive phase, something amazing manifesting in terms of your life. Sorry about the colouring on the cards. The sun has come up. But your fears will be, well, what if this wonderful phase turns to a hunk of crap with the Five of Cups? What if the wheel turns to that Five of Cups? What if it's not something positive happening? What if this wheel turns to reveal that this is another disappointing situation? But the outcome is temperance for love. And I'm seeing you guys really having to go with the flow in terms of love with this temperance energy as your overall outcome. I think you're going to have to work with the Eight of Swords, because the Temperance card is all about working. And it's all about finding an even keel and balancing out. I think you guys, the overall outcome is more advice for the overall outcome for love, because I'm seeing in this reading a lot of fear going on in terms of getting into other relationships with some of you guys. And I think the overall outcome, Geminis, for those of you searching for love, but that I'm seeing is being fairly reticent in terms of finding it, Gemini, is that you're going to have to work with yourself in terms of this Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords is all about repression and fear. You're going to have to work with this fear, because the Temperance card is the ability to work and balance out. You're going to have to try and balance out your fear with that Eight of Swords energy. All right, you're going to have to balance it out by going out there with the Page of Wands and taking a leap of faith. All right, on new relationships, by communicating with others as well. Page of Wands is to communicate, and Two of Cups is about relationships. So you're going to have to really balance out and really try and even out your fears with this Eight of Swords by communicating and getting out there with the Page of Wands and exploring relationships, the potential for relationships with that Two of Cups. Okay? And some of you guys will need to try and work, Temperance card, on your fears with that Eight of Swords. Especially if you are seeing someone or communicating in terms of a new relationship with an individual. Alright? Or if you've got maybe a Sagittarius, Aries, Leo individual around you with this Two of Cups, you're seeing someone. You're going to have to really try and even this out and work with those energies, Gemini. Okay? And it might be, because I'm looking at the Page of Wands looking in at the Eight of Swords. Look how he looks in at this. He's looking straight across, and there's a person around you, I feel, who wants to take you out of this. This person is communicating that they're interested in you. All right, but you're here. It's saying here, look, you're going to need to kind of work with your emotions, Gemini, this temperance energy. Because there is somebody here, this Page of Wands, who wants to communicate with you, but you're guarded. You're pushing out somebody who wants to communicate an interest in you. Because the Eight of Swords means to push out. It means leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm like this. Leave me alone. Leave me. That's what Eight of Swords is. Like that. I don't want this. Leave me alone. Stay away. Eight of Swords. So you're going to have to try and work with your emotions here. You're going to have to try and get your mojo back with the temperance energy. Because you are blocking out Eight of Swords communicating with potential partners, or having somebody communicate feelings to you, or that they're interested in you. That's the problem. You're blocking people out. Somebody wants, can you look at the Page of Wands looks in at the Eight of Swords? He's trying to get a message across to you. But you guys are blocking out people who are communicating interest with the Two of Cups. You're blocking it out. Because you guys feel that you've got an epiphany that you're not ready to commit to anyone. Nobody's asking you to commit, Gemini. You don't have to commit. Just go out and have some fun. If you don't want a relationship, fair enough, don't have one. Don't have one. But what I'm seeing is fear in several places. I see fear here. I see fear here. I see fear here. So 1, 2, 3. I think this is what somebody did to you here. So I'm seeing you fear here, fear here, fear here, and fear here, and fear here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 places out of 10, there's fear. There's a lot of fear. Most of this reading is fear. But also I see strength. But I see one part strength. Because this is the universe bringing this to you. So this has got nothing to do with you. But it's off the back of what you do here. Here, there is what you'll experience in the immediate future. There is a new phase coming in. There is an ending of the old. And you're passing through the valley of death to enter through the gates. New phase. So after death, there is a new phase here with the Two of Wands that you'll find, in which what will manifest is your greatest heart's devotion, your greatest inspiration. You're going to have manifestations. You're very close to a manifestation. Nine of Wands is to be very close to, and this is manifestation. The star. So you guys, what you've experienced is great manifestation. You're very close to something manifesting here with the star energy in terms of love. But it's your fears that you let get in the way. That's the problem. And actually, we've got 6 places that show your fears. Here, 9 of Swords. You are worried about starting new relationships. Ace of Wands. Your challenge is to feel confident. Because there's a great deal of anxiety. It might be that the challenge is to feel confident because somebody kept something from you, Moon is secrets. But also I think it's feeling confident when somebody hurts you. I think that you've really suppressed a lot of emotions here when you're feeling really quite vulnerable and tender with the Moon. So here, worried, starting new relationships. Challenge, feeling confident, I feel, because somebody hurt you and made you feel very vulnerable. Here, as a result of that, holding back, not wanting to offer what you have to people who are interested here. Because epiphany that you are not ready to commit. Worried, the Wheel of Fortune, that everything good that comes in is going to turn to shit. 5 of Cups. So no 5 places. No, the overall outcome is, but it's the advice. But this is what you guys are doing here and here. There's a lot of, yeah, there's 5, it's not here, this is the advice and the outcome. There's 5 places here that you guys fear, Gemini. You fear love. And yet there's people that are interested, but you fear it. And the outcome is saying, look, you know, there's good places, look, here and here and here. Say you've passed through the valley of death and you've reached the other side, the Two of Wands. You are now at the new gate. And through that, you are very close to a manifestation. But it is your fears, the Wheel of Fortune, that all of this is good. So there's people around you coming in. You're very close to manifesting something wonderful in February 2018. But you're fearing that all of this good luck is going to turn to shit. Five of Cups. But the universe is saying, look, stop it, because you need to work on yourself, Temperance. You need to work with getting your emotions back in balance here, Temperance energy, because you're blocking out people coming to you and saying, look, I want to meet. You're blocking out dates, people contacting you, people communicating with some of you guys. You're blocking it. And all because of what some douchebag did here and here. You got to, you know, if you want it, look, some of you guys don't want relationships, and that's fair enough. Don't do it then. If you don't want it, don't do it. But I think if you want a relationship, but you're blocking out the potential of one, Gemini, because of what some douchebag did to you here and here, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. Give a brother a chance. Give a sister a chance, man, yeah? Give somebody a chance. We all fail in love. Some of us more times than others. But sometimes just give somebody a chance. Because you never know when you can drop lucky, man. Let's have a look at what the advice is, Gem. So, Geminis, what's the advice for Gemini in terms of love for February 2018? What's the advice for Geminis in love? Show me. Separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So for some of you, separation is on the horizon here. Okay? I don't know how that pans into this reading, but for some of you, it is on the horizon. And that's why you guys are gone. I think if you're with someone and separation is on the horizon, then yeah, you're not going to be ready for a commitment. But I think if you're in a relationship and it's been on the card for a while and you're going to separate for someone and you're still open to seeing somebody else, then, you know, give that a chance, because you never know what could happen. All right. Is there any other advice that you have for Gemini on this reading? Any other advice for February 2018? Oh, God. Another one. Unrequited. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So separation is on the horizon because of unrequited love. I think if you're involved with somebody at the moment, though to me it felt like somebody had already left. Maybe somebody is around you and they've just left you abandoned and stuff. You know? Maybe if this is somebody around you already that's doing this type of shit, it might be this Knight of Pentacles. You're holding back from committing with somebody who seems to keep coming back. Because Hermits can show when somebody's reevaluating a situation as well. Alright? I think if you're involved with someone and they're doing some shit to you, I think that this is right, and I think that you aren't ready for a commitment yet. But there's nothing wrong with if you still want to go out there and have some fun, to allow this ending, to allow this new phase of the Two of Wands, in which something could manifest here. But you know what I mean, you got to, with the Temperance card, just try and manage to balance yourself out, because you are kind of avoiding, Ace of Swords is also avoiding, you know, people who come in and want to be either friends with you or they want to just have easygoing relationships. They might not, Page of Wands is not a card about committing to anything. So it might be that you're just avoiding people who just want to have light-hearted, you know, funny little relationship with you, nice little relationship. Doesn't mean Page of Wands, you guys are saying you don't want commitment here because of what somebody's done. But it doesn't, you know, it still says, you know, you can still have friendships here. You're taking everything way too seriously, some of you guys, in terms of new relationships. So maybe for some of you guys, it's best not to take something way too seriously. If you don't want a relationship, you don't want a commitment because you're separating from an individual here with separation and unrequited love, then just go and have some fun, because you're cutting your nose off to spite your face, Eight of Swords, from having fun. You know, dating. Page of Wands is fun, and the Two of Cups can be dating. So, you know, balance your emotions out, because some of you might be cutting off your nose to spite your face with the Ace of Swords, because you from having fun, Page of Wands, in terms of dating with the Two of Cups. Interesting reading. Give a brother a chance, give a sister a chance, have some fun. Doesn't have to be that serious, especially if you're going through this. If you are looking for love, but you've been really burnt in love, you know. If you don't want it, fair enough. But if you still want it, part of you wants it, but you're afraid, you know, we've all got to fail. You can't be afraid to fail. It's what we do as human beings. Don't be afraid to fail, because it helps people to learn. All right, that's your reading for February 2018, gems. Thanks for your time, guys. See you on your generals. Take care. Bye-bye.